Hey, it's Monday night, so let's mint mask. It's been a bit of a challenging week, but I'd like to say on behalf of my family and I thank you for the many words of encouragement and acts of kindness that you've shown us over this week. Last week, we had an experience that happened. If you're not a baseball fan, you won't know what the Midsummer Classic is, but that's the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, and it happens during the summer. Well, that happened last week. And during the All-Star Game, there was an event that kind of reminded me of something important, and I would want to share that with you tonight. Last week, during the All-Star Game, a young man, 24 years old, a up-and-coming star. Some say that if his career would continue on the trajectory it is, it could be a Hall of Fame career, and his name is Josh Hader. And he's a pitcher, and he was pitching in the Midsummer Classic and did a tremendous job. And while he was out on the field pitching, news kind of broke about his Twitter feed. Now, the interesting thing about the Midsummer Classic is they have really worked to put a lot of media into it. So they will have mics on players in the field and those sort of things. And the players will carry their phones with them and take pictures and such. And so for the Twitter to be engaged would not be anything surprising. But unfortunately, while this young man was pitching, someone had re-released some information about tweets that he had posted some years back when he was 17 years old. And, the context of the tweets just weren't very flattering. And by the time he got off the field, there was already kind of a media storm around what he had texted. Now, let me say this. I don't know Mr. Hader, and I wish him the absolute best. But what I do know is that 17 to 24 can be a long time, and people can change their minds about how they feel. And sometimes when we're 17, we'll do things that we really haven't given a lot of thought to. So don't hear me defending what the young man texted, but also don't allow yourself to cast too many stones, because we were all young once, and when I was much younger, I was kind of stupid at times. But that is not the point of tonight's Mint Mask message. The point is this, is that words matter. And this young man has learned a very important lesson, is that words matter and they stay around. And we have to give an account for our words, whether it's an immediate account or whether, like with this young man, it's some 7 years later, we have to give an account for our words. The Bible says words are like arrows, and once they're released, you can't get them back. I believe we all would do well to watch our words, to be more mindful of what we say. We live in a digital age, and once it's posted, it never comes back, and it never really truly goes away. Even if you defeat it off your Facebook feed, it's not truly gone. It's still there. And so I got to thinking about that, and as a pastor and as a father and as a husband and hopefully as a good friend, I needed to be reminded to mind my words, to measure what I say and to mean what I say, and to be very careful as best I can that what I say is what I mean and cannot be misconstrued or misapplied. And you do the very best you can, and life is life. But the thing about words is there's 3 types of words that we need to measure that are very important. The first one is the spoken word. My friends, the tongue is sharper than a two-edged sword, and we have to be very careful about what we say, because it can cut deep and it can last a long time. With your very small tongue, you can breathe life or you can breathe death into someone's life. The second is the written word. What we tweet, what we text, what we email, what we Instagram, or whatever your mode of operation is. Listen, the words that we text, we need to be mindful of those, because like I said, they never go away. And then lastly, and perhaps is most important, are the words unspoken. The words we should say that we haven't. like I love you. Thank you. Please forgive me. I forgive you. Those words need to be spoken, and they have a great value, and we should be about saying those words and being intentional with those. So this week, as you go about, be mindful of what you say. Be mindful of who you say it to. Be mindful of how you say it. And realize this, that we all give an account for our words. Say what you mean and mean what you say. I hope that we'll see each other again next week. And as always, thank you for your most precious gift to me, your time. I look forward to seeing you next week, Lord willing, for another Mint Mask with a message.